Welcome to the Lost Lowdown, podcast 172, with your hosts, Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
We're back! Surprise! Continuing our season 5 commentary series with episode 503, Jughead.
Jughead.
That head is all jug. Oh man, I remember this title from the first time, and it is still as awful as it was back then.
Yeah. I feel like we learned some of the titles in advance,
Mm-hmm.
and this was one where it was like, what? Jughead? What?
Yeah, we could not really place how that was going to mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very misleading. It's
Mhm.
definitely the Egg Town of this season.
Yeah, the Egton, please.
Yeah, Eggton. Sorry.
Egtonshire. Yeah, so this is a Desmond episode, and Desmond centric, and we were just
It
kind of,
is? Sorry.
well, yeah, I
Are you
mean,
serious?
that's what Lostpedia says, so that's what I'm going off of.
Okay. Because I don't
Yeah.
remember Desmond having anything to do with Jughead. But I guess maybe the other stuff is about
The
Desmond?
non-Jughead stuff,
No, the
yeah.
non-Jughead. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it.
This episode's not about the title, yeah.
Yeah, that's confusing, but okay.
Yeah, we were kind of just talking about it before the podcast about how Desmond used to be, in the first watch of the show, originally Desmond was this really interesting character, and then when you rewatch the show, he gets annoying really fast.
So
Because
fast.
he's so selfish, and he only
Yeah.
cares about Penny.
Penny, Penny, Penny.
No, brother,
Where's my
I gotta get off the
penny?
island, brother. And like you said, he winds up with their characters at the end in the afterlife and all that stuff. Where also he's annoying by
Mm-hmm.
forcing everyone to wake up on his own
Yep.
terms, on his
Yep. He's
timetable.
the decider.
He's the decider. And but yet he never really cared about these people. I mean, to some degree, obviously, there's a couple people he bonded with, like
Yeah.
slightly, but I just think he didn't put in the time or effort
No.
to really be a part of the main group as some of the other characters did.
No, not at all. I mean, he's barely there.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, there was the Charlie thing,
Hmm.
which in a way was just all about how he has to sacrifice Charlie to be with Penny, and that's kind of what
Yeah, Charlie was
happens.
the sacrifice the island demanded.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know, he didn't really seem to feel that guilty about it.
He's really over it real quick after a while.
It's like not a big deal, and he's right back onto boat. Where's the boat? Getting on the boat. Gonna go find Penny. I want to be on the
Hmm.
freighter. Gonna call Penny. Penny, Penny, Penny. The helicopter
Hmm.
crashes. Oh, look at Penny. See you
Yep.
later, guys.
Yeah.
Everything else is your problem.
Yeah, he left the island and didn't look back. Now obviously where we're picking up at this point of the show, he just had that dream vision
True.
that Dan sort of instigated
He does
through the
have a
time
Faraday
travel.
connection because of the
Yeah,
weird Oxford thing
yeah.
and the
So now
Hawking
he
thing.
is sort of doing something that might help the Losties,
Hmm.
have pulling him out of his comfort zone and
My
everything.
recollection is he doesn't help at all, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we get to. But I'm just giving him the one benefit of the doubt that he at least when
yeah,
he has the call to adventure, he doesn't go screw those guys.
he made
He's
an
like,
effort.
okay, I
Yeah.
will investigate this.
It's not
But
like season 6 where Widmore had to
Mhm.
literally kidnap him and force him to go help his friends.
Oh jeez, yeah. Don't you want to go help all these people you left behind? Not really,
No.
brother. Not really. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think probably I'll probably never be over how overrated I think the Constant is, even though like I don't think it's a bad episode. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I think it sucks. It is good. It's interesting. I
It's
get why people like it.
it's the Beatles of Lost episodes.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, they're
totally.
good, but are they that good?
Yeah, 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 exactly. It just seems like the praise is like way
Mhm.
overstated. Because I really do think there are episodes of the show that are as good as a constant. I
Hmm.
mean, it's
Hmm.
not like the pinnacle of Lost. It's just like, it's pretty good, and it does some interesting things that maybe some other episodes don't do. But um, yeah, I don't know. Part of that, that's not really the character's fault.
Yep.
But I do think in my thinking about it, it does carry over. Like I guess the combination of that and the general disconnection of the character from, the characters we care about. And
Hmm.
the way the show like gives him this weight that seems unearned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does get annoying. It's
And the
like,
other thing that's annoying about Desmond is he's special in this very specific way with the island and
yeah,
everything that he never appreciates
right.
and doesn't care to investigate
No, I don't really.
or
Yeah,
exploit in any way.
no,
And
no.
he doesn't do the thing that, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't do the thing that Jack eventually does, which is, try to understand why he was on the island in the first place in terms of fate and all that stuff. Like what's the reason that I'm here? Like he never really seems to like address that. It's
Fuck
always
no.
this was getting stranded on the island was a detour towards Pennyland,
Yep.
and he was
Yep.
trying to get back on the Penny Highway so he can get to Pennyland.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And it really never gets away from that. Yeah, my recollection is that this thing we're about to see is actually just like the only reason why they do this, I think, is just to fulfill the threat that Ben made to Whitmore, that he was gonna kill Penny in retaliation for killing Alex. And
Mm-hmm.
Desmond's mission, I think, brings him to L.A. eventually, where Ben is, so that thread
That's
can
right.
be closed. I think that's the only thing it really accomplishes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really got nothing to do with Desmond. And when he goes back in season 6, by force, he's like, yeah, brother, I'll do whatever you want. I'll go down in the cave, and then I'll be with me Penny again. Like
Yeah.
everything's about Penny again.
Everything's about Penny. It's not about saving the people on the island. It's not
Fuck
about stopping Man
no,
in Black. It's
no.
just like this is the avenue for me to get to Penny, so
Yeah.
I'll go down that road.
First, he's pissed because he's not
Mm-hmm.
with Penny and he wants to go back to be with Penny, so he's fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to the afterlife and he sees Penny, and then he thinks, if I go down this cave and do what Smokey says I should do, I'll go with Penny again. So he
Mm-hmm.
does it, and then he's wrong.
And then he's
The
wrong.
end.
Classic wrong. Yep.
And that's where he closes it out. I mean, I know there's the afterlife stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
again, the afterlife stuff was just, well, I found Penny and I got to move on. So I guess for whatever reason, show contrivance, I got to bring these other people because really, he should have had his own thing with Penny.
Well, it's almost like, okay, I got Penny in this afterlife, but this isn't the real afterlife. We have to move to the next thing.
Yeah.
So but I have to like ruin everyone else's fantasy in order to do that.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I don't even understand why he felt compelled to do that. It just
I
seems, yeah.
I really hope in the after whatever the afterlife is in reality, that there's not like a single person who can ruin it for everybody. Like I
Right.
hope there's no loophole in the
Yeah,
afterlife
yeah,
where if some
yeah.
asshole just wants to ruin it for you, they can.
I had to punch you until you got your memories again.
Is he Irish?
Yeah, sorry.
Because he
Hey,
told
it's
me Lucky
close.
Charms.
It's close. Yeah, I can't do that because obviously.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's close. It's close.
Oh man, but yeah, it's just that whole. I mean, yeah, there was so much bullshit with that part of the Flash Sideways. Like, it was contrived to make it seem like Desmond had some kind of like exciting and potentially
Mm-hmm.
sinister mission,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just, yeah, it was really just like, you know. I decide when your afterlife is over.
I am the god here.
I alone can fix
Oh,
this.
jeez. Two presidential references.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess.
So basically,
Oh, you're right.
Desmond is
Wow.
Desmond at the very end of the day is a Republican president. Somehow.
Clearly.
He's the decider, and he alone can fix it. That's fair. I feel like Kanye West should come on and be like, Desmond Hume doesn't care about lost people. He doesn't care about these losties.
It's true though. It's so true. It almost seems like it was the rules or something. Like he just had to get like that group had to be in the same place
Mm-hmm.
to make it work. Because it just I don't know. It doesn't really add up.
No, it's a bit well, it's a lot contrived.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I don't know. Even Desmond's role on the island sucked too. It was like, I'll pop the cork and then just pass out for the rest of the time. Like, like thanks,
Oh yeah.
Desmond.
Now you got
Wow.
what you needed from me. I have no more story right now.
Such a hero. Yeah, just like he didn't help with the fights. He just kind of
Mm-hmm.
was like lying on the ground for the rest of the fucking
Mm-hmm.
story.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's yeah. It's just it is really frustrating because I do remember in season 6. Like actually, I was over there looking at the fuselage, just kind of reminiscing about what people were posting. You know, especially in the season 6 era. I was looking at that stuff and I was looking at this thread where the original point and like various people were like, "Where's Desmond? Where's Desmond? I want Desmond. Give me my Desmond."
Oh, jeez.
Like everyone was like so desperate, and like I tried to say like, based on where they took his story, why would Desmond appear right now? It makes no sense. His story was done. He was
Yeah.
together with Penny. All of his conflicts were resolved. Like, why would he show up? And of course, the answer is like he wouldn't. That Whitmore had to kidnap him. That's the only way.
Yep.
You know, like you have to be on the show. The fans need you, Desmond.
They demand it. You're the anti Nikki and Paulo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you have to be on the show, whether it makes sense or not?
Mm-hmm.
It's just required.
Because
So,
you're
yeah.
special somehow.
You're special, uniquely and miraculously.
Don't tell Locke.
Yeah, it's oh god. I'm hoping this episode doesn't focus that much on Desmond because I do think the centric aspect of this season is a bit weird when they're not doing the flashback structure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like there are basically no characters that I mean, what they're flashing back and forth between the island and, you know, the real world, you know, LA basically. And there are no characters that are in both places, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really work in the normal way where like they would follow a character on the island and then flash to the other character either forward or back. So I think that kind of messed up the formula. I think they kind of go back to it later. Like
When
they
they come
start
back.
doing like real yeah, exactly. When they come back, they do some more flashback type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. I feel like that makes it a little more arbitrary. I mean, you can just kind of decide what character you think gets the most focus and call them the centric character.
Yeah.
Like for the lie, it seemed like it was Hurley, but there was a lot of stuff in that episode that didn't involve Hurley.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the first one, because he left, I don't even know. I guess Jack. I'm not really sure what the focus was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It was all over the
Wikipedia
place.
says none.
None. Yeah. Yeah.
No one had enough.
Sounds about right.
Majority or
That
something.
episode was it was jumping all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't actually remember everything that's in this episode. Like I remember some of the Desmond stuff, and I remember what Jughead is, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I
some
remember
of
a
this
little
will
bit
be
about,
news
you
to
know,
me.
the 1950s, 45 stuff or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah.
and introducing some of those characters. But yeah, I haven't seen this one in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure probably the last time I saw this would be when I did a rewatch before season 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't
That
think
was
I've
like a
watched it
year
since
ago, right?
then. I think that is the problem with the commentary is that, well, not the problem, but it takes, it takes a while to get through it. I don't want to watch ahead because I'll
Mm-hmm.
like spoil myself in a way. I
Yep.
want to keep it fresh and kind of go through, but also like, the longer it goes on, I lose touch with like, so what was like
All the
season 2
details,
like?
and
And
yeah, you
yeah,
lose the details of what you've covered so far in the commentary series, and you lose the details of the whole show that you've seen that you haven't watched all of since the show was on.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a little tough. I mean, I think I agree with you that I don't want to sort of spoil myself by going ahead and sort of rewatching all the season before we talk about the commentary series, because then I think we would, have even more tangents about what's gonna happen,
right.
that we remember if that was fresh in our
Exactly.
mind.
Yeah,
So,
I can only remember the stuff that I actually remember, not
hmm,
not from seeing it recently.
yeah,
Whatever stood out in my mind over all those years and what we focused on when we were talking about things. I mean, like the Jughead thing is in terms of the plot of the season, it's pretty significant. So, it stands out for
hmm,
that reason.
yeah,
It makes sense that they would want to spend if they're gonna like throw in a hydrogen bomb in the finale. It makes sense that they would want to introduce like where did that come from and why is that there. Give it some time. In retrospect, like it should have been obvious that it was like Chekhov's atomic bomb or whatever. It's like
hmm,
if they introduce such a thing, like surely they're gonna do something with that.
yeah.
I feel like I wasn't thinking that at the time, although I don't remember what we said. Again, I haven't listened to the podcast for this one from the old days. I wish I did that.
Yeah, I
I need
don't
to
quite
check that
remember
stuff
what we
out.
were thinking about Jughead after this episode myself. But yeah, I
Yeah,
do want to go listen to some of the old stuff and see what we were thinking. But yeah,
it's
the
so
whole
great.
idea of,
We're so
I think,
like naive.
like you said, a bomb in the first act goes off in the third.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's interesting to think about what, how we would have assumed it was going to play out, and
I think I took it more as mythology of the island. Just
hmm,
establishing that there was this military presence and the history of the others. I didn't think about like, but yeah, why would it be this specifically?
hmm.
Something that is inherently like a weapon that could be used for large scale destruction.
Yeah, and I think we would have been remiss if we didn't talk about the idea of maybe this is where the idea of not pressing the button destroys the world or something, or destroys the island comes from,
Right.
because there is this mass destruction device here. So like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, maybe that's where that came from.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 I do think that the implication we're supposed to take away. Um, I'm not sure about this, but I think the implication is that because the bomb exploded at the Swan site,
Hmm.
that created the conditions that forced them to make the button
Yeah,
scenario.
that was the incident.
Yeah, that was the incident. That's why they
Hmm.
that's why they called it the incident.
That's what they called the incident.
Yeah, I forgot that actually had a name, and it's a little more explicit than I think this is what they meant. Like they pretty much
Hmm.
said it.
Yeah, no, it was the whole thing, and because it was unstable, and every
Right.
108 minutes you have to enter a code that does something.
Yeah. 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 Right. Right. Does something. Why does it have to work like this? Shut up. Just
Hmm.
push the button.
And you can't automate this? No.
Nope. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Brzezinski said we can't do it.
And whatever he says goes, because he's a normal, stable human being.
Yeah, he's a very stable genius.
Yeah, that's why he shot himself. Oh, jeez. I'm still a little upset we didn't get a reveal that that Kelvin actually killed him. and he just
Right.
lied to Desmond and told him that Brzezinski killed himself. I
Yeah.
would have liked that little detail.
It would have been nice. I do remember before season 6 in the speculation here, like I never necessarily thought this would happen, but hearing people say things like, "Oh yeah, I hope we get more about like Kelvin and Radzinski," you know. And like it would have been cool, but like I
Yeah.
don't know how that really would fit in the season 6 they did.
Brzezinski, wash the dishes before you put them in the dishwasher. How many times do I have to tell you? You don't own me, Kelvin.
Why do we have a dishwasher if I have to wash the dishes before I put them in there?
Because stuck on food won't get clean, clearly. At least soak them before if you're not going to wash them completely. Jeez. Like, yeah, it's the Odd Couple sitcom, basically. Kelvin and Brzezinski, the spinoff. I mean, now that I mention it, I would watch it. It sounds great to me now, but, sounds like a short-lived show, one season.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to stretch it out too far.
Nah.
It's a bit limited in like what they could
Doesn't,
do.
doesn't have legs, as they
Yeah,
say.
I could even see it as a web series, or a YouTube series or something, Shorts, like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. Because you don't want too much Brzezinski, right?
Exactly. That's so grating.
Yeah. And then, like, the last line of every episode is Kelvin going, "What's your problem with Brzezinski? What's your major malfunction? Your behavior needs explaining." Jeez. All right, well, you want to get into the episode?
Who are you hiding this map from?
Exactly.
Why?
From the cameras! From the cameras!
No one's watching the cameras. They're all dead.
Exactly. They smoked all that pot on the table.
Exactly.
And they wandered off. Yeah, they like got high, and one of the guys was like, "What if we just leave?"
Honestly, that's not even implausible.
I know, it's
Like,
so weird.
From the Dharma that we see this season, like, I could totally see that. The Hootenanny people?
Oh,
like,
there's a hootenanny going on. Well, let's bring some pot.
Bring the pot!
You never come back.
Pile it on the table like you do with pot.
You do pile at the table. That's how you know how much you have. Oh man. Oh, just this show is just a ball of fun.
It really is.
So much craziness. All right, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, everybody, get your playlist ready. If you're going to sync up with this, we'll do the countdown for some
Jughead.
What's this? Jughead. It's like the lie. Like, that didn't sound right. All right, here we go.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Previous on Lost.
Then turn the donkey wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. How did they know? Oh, maybe Locke told them?
That they're moving
like,
through time?
How did he know Ben did it?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that in the last podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. I know Locke's around at a certain point, so... I never used to worry.
That wasn't a motherfucking dream. That was a memory. Such drama from that realization.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intense.
Wow, the island looks different.
Yeah, it was like a lot of people
of red
all
shirts
of a sudden. Here. What's happening?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Does that mean Penny in some other language?
Of course it does.
Where's Penny?
Who else would he be looking for?
Oh, man. That's a long story.
Yeah, let's just cut to it instead of explaining.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
Oh, Penny.
Of course. Why would it have to do with anything else?
Yeah, why would he be so excited if it was not for Penny?
Yeah, this is a reveal, I think.
Yeah, it's a total
I
reveal.
don't think we even knew she was pregnant. Like, this all happened in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's been 3 years since they escaped,
It's a
so.
long pregnancy.
They've been, like, sailing around, and yeah, she was pregnant for 3 years.
It's that time barrier, you know?
Must be.
Doesn't he name the baby Charlie or something stupid
Of
like
course he
that?
does.
Yeah, of course he
Yep,
does.
yep. Does this make up for letting you die?
Exactly. Not Penny's boat, but it's totally Penny's baby.
It better be. Oh my god, it has no umbilical cord.
It's a miracle. It's an island miracle. They're not near the island though. So.
It counts somehow, even though she was never on the island.
Mm-hmm. She was on there in her heart.
Of course she was.
Man, TV pregnancies are so fast and efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, they get that shit done.
Yep.
Like, real doctors need to figure out how to make that work.
Come on, get on it, real doctors.
Yeah. It looks a lot easier. Oh, okay, that was a while ago.
Yeah, so that was okay. That was
Okay.
a flashback. And
So,
now we're
yeah,
president.
it's been a
Okay.
couple years. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. He knocked her up as soon as he got back
Yeah,
with her.
like,
He didn't
immediately.
wait. Yeah.
Like, it's baby time.
Oh, no, jeez. Hawaii?
So special.
Scotland? Great Britain, there it is.
Yep, of course. There's more than one monster?
Clearly.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
This story has two storytellers.
Kind of messed up my
Yeah.
narrative drive there. Ooh. They're not really my friends.
Is that what he wanted? I guess.
And it was really about Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that has...
Whitmore's son.
Daniel Faraday has nothing to do with your father.
Oh, that's right. Penny's his sister.
He's certainly not your half-brother.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
I don't think she ever even knows that.
I don't think they ever find that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
This has nothing to do with your family at all. Oh, wait.
Who is this guy?
Who
Who
are
is
those
that guy?
people?
They're gonna die.
Yeah.
They must be fodder for this episode.
Why is Charlotte the only one who's having this issue?
Yeah, I was thinking about that last time when it first started. I have no idea. Because she's from the island? I don't know.
Miles?
So's Miles. I know. Technically, Faraday was
Yeah.
conceived there as well, so... you know... It doesn't make any sense to me.
That means something will
Because
happen
she's
to
British? I really don't know.
her. Because she's British.
Faraday should be British, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, inexplicably.
Yeah, it's weird. He did all the British things. He had British parents. He went to a
Yeah.
British school.
Yeah. He grew up there, apparently.
But maybe he just hated tea and crumpets, and so
Yeah.
it doesn't count.
I reject your way of speaking.
Uh-oh. Is this a Rousseau trap?
Oh, God.
Oh, there's the dead people.
It better not be Rousseau again.
He's just gonna let them die.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Oh, he tried to stop him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. That's why they're there, so someone can die.
Yeah. Pretty
What is that a
complicated.
Rousseau trap?
I don't
I
know
guess
what
it
they say about it.
is.
I was sort of joking,
Or is it
but
the others? Or
yeah.
it's
Oh, that's
okay.
right. It's hostiles.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Are they
yeah, yeah.
hostiles?
They're in their quote unquote costumes.
I see. But back then was it a
They
costume?
weren't costumes originally.
Oh no, I know who you are and I'm
Oh
upset about
yeah.
it. Then I'll shoot him first. It's a great shot with the gun on the camera.
Yeah.
My
Stay away from
son
what?
from the future.
Like,
All
does he actually
right.
mean that? Does she know who he is?
I don't know if she knows who he is or if it's like she thinks she's mistaken about who she thinks he is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what it is. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Right, because I think she doesn't even realize who he is until the 70s.
Yeah. Until
That's the
she's the other
whole.
actress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's three of them.
Oh, like his father. Oh, unlike his father, he doesn't listen at the end.
Of course.
All right. Hmm.
Yeah,
It's a good. That's a huge point.
definitely. Yeah. Time travel, the variables,
The variables.
something.
And like the thing, I don't know if Desmond is piecing together is that Faraday would have told them this before Faraday came to the island originally, because obviously Desmond was in the hatch at the time, right? So this was before the
Yeah.
freighter. So does he understand that part of it? That there's time travel involved on his part, on
He,
Faraday's part,
he should.
or is it too nuanced
He
for
should, but
memory
yeah, it
dream?
doesn't seem like he's taken that in. And yeah, it might just be too nuanced for the point they want to make. They're just gonna kind of rest on like it's some combination of time travel and Desmond's weird
Because
gifts.
that actually makes the memory way more interesting if there's time travel involved and you
Yeah,
know if he knocked on the hatch, I mean that was at the hatch, and that would have
right.
been years before.
It would be a kind of nice if he put that together.
Yeah.
It's not clear that he does. It seems like he's just like, oh yeah, it was that time when I was in the hatch and Faraday
Mm-hmm.
was there.
Was yeah.
Like,
Oh, ooh.
ooh.
So yeah, she thinks they're military.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cut that answers the
The
question.
rest of their his people, yeah.
Right. They got Widmore.
I've been busy being manipulated by Men in Black. Sorry.
Yeah, seriously. And it continues.
Yeah. Please say it. Oh,
Yeah.
she
Julia
cut
cut
him
it
off.
off. Ooh.
Ooh, a little Latin, huh?
I bet
This is
Juliet
special.
understands.
Bet she does. Where's Ricardus? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh
All the others learned it in others college.
oh.
Wow, they're others. I feel like this group of others is more interesting than the group we.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have a better sense of conviction about what they're
I
doing.
agree. Yeah, maybe they lost their way
Mm-hmm.
at some
Because of
point.
Ben
Yeah, Ben.
and Whitmore's dalliances off the
Yeah,
island.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh-oh. Is he getting a
Somebody's
sense?
dead there.
Ooh, who was it? Oh, okay. Exposition grave. Uh-oh. Foreshadowing.
But Win is here. Oh, beautiful Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is the original barracks.
yeah, right. And again, the others didn't build this.
You didn't build this.
Wow, we're really quoting presidents today.
Oh,
Of
nice.
course.
He looks younger. Oh, wait, he doesn't age. I recognize you from the future. So is this before Locke visited?
Before
Or
Locke
or
visited.
wait, or is it later?
Before Locke
Have
visited.
we seen this before? I'm really confused
No, what do
about
you
how the
mean?
time travel works.
I don't understand.
Oh, is this the episode where Locke talks to Richard and does the compass thing?
No, we already saw that.
We already saw that.
That was in the
Okay.
future. That was
That was before. That was after this point.
it.
That
It
was the
was after
50s.
this in time, before this for Locke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
They erased their records because he was so controversial.
Have you seen The Constant? You're a woman. You would have loved it.
It's about eternal love and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Not sure about that either. Hmm.
I don't remember how this resolves. Wait, do I? No, I
I
don't.
think I kind of have a sense.
Oh, is somebody just gonna show up and tell him
Yeah,
what he
I think
needs
he
to
doesn't.
know?
I think he goes up to his old
Okay,
office.
yeah. And is there like, is someone gonna be
There's like a
there?
janitor or something who's been
Yeah.
waiting for someone to come or
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that.
They want to talk about the buried secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of like professors doing dangerous time travel experiments that have to be erased from the record.
Right?
Like that's just really cool.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to publish that information in any academic journals.
No, hide it, bury it.
It's only cutting edge research. No university likes to be known for that.
Of course not. Ooh, a chalkboard.
Mm-mm. Well, clearly a professor worked here. Papers.
Papers,
Did they even
classic.
get rid of the evidence? They just locked the door.
I know. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
they just left it.
there it is.
This would never happen.
Yeah, no, that makes no sense.
They would have cleaned it out for somebody else to take over.
Yeah, it's a waste of space. Like,
Mm.
this is absurd.
They left all of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just all sitting there.
All for proof that he's not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's the maze, the
Yep.
mouse maze.
Yep. There it is.
Hmm. Like someone gave him this job just so he could keep an eye on this, right?
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
Ah!
What are you doing, by the way?
Why did he? Huh? He shouldn't have given it up. So that's why I didn't want you to touch it. Hmm. That is sort of the truth.
It really is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, right. Right.
That poor girl rat?
Eloise, the rat.
Eloise, the, yeah. Did he just push him back?
Mm-hmm.
My journal says so. Could be 5 years. 5,000 years. All right.
5,000 years. That's not a good plan then.
It is if it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm. That's weird thinking.
Yeah.
Let's convince them that we're the people they hate. That guy's a scientist. They totally cut the miles.
Oops.
All right.
Yo, what?
You what? Hmm. Well, true love's always a great excuse. So, did Faraday just intuit there's a bomb on the island because of the two instances of radiation burns?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
happened.
I mean, and he
Correct.
also mentioned tests, so there was like
Mm-hmm.
3 data points for
Yep.
that inference, I guess.
Others 101.
There it is. It's weird that they're wearing like Dharma-esque uniforms, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Oh.
Dharma uniforms?
Well, just they're wearing sort of uniforms with names on them, and
Right.
they're not like military, right? They're the
I assume
others.
they are military uniforms because the names don't match who they are.
Oh, they're just in costume. This is their
I
costume.
think so, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh oh. We all heard Bacardas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even
Join
Locke
that
heard
up now.
it.
It's a classic trope where like somehow if you know the leader's name, that gets you this like power
Mm-hmm.
over the henchmen. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they know Richard's name. Wow, I must trust them now, or something. Uh-oh. Remember what happens here.
Yep. Classic Widmore.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happened, happened. You can't kill him.
Exactly.
That's actually an interesting question. Does Widmore ever remember John Locke from this in the future?
Yes, I believe he brings it up
Okay, okay.
when they meet in Life and Death of Jeremy Bentham.
There we go. That's what I would expect it to be.
Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't recognize him in the past,
Yes.
but yeah. Yeah, once they can actually write the later episode later, it's easier to say, like, oh, he recognizes him from the time travel,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the Faraday Desmond thing. I do find this element a bit weird. It's kind of underdeveloped.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they create this like backstory for Dan like this.
Yeah, it's sort of like he was doing these experiments, and like if he was just like doing it on rats, like it shouldn't have been such a big cover up. But I guess the idea that he experimented on a person
Mm-hmm.
raises the stakes. Like I guess that's why they felt the need to. But I don't know. I always felt like
Well,
this is
is this like foreshadowing what could happen? You know what I mean? Like,
right with the
oh, like
Charlotte thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is another woman that he loved that he got killed
Mm-hmm.
with his science. Okay.
Exactly.
I see the connection now.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just weird because like I don't think we ever see this character like in a non comatose state, and so it's just sort of. I mean,
Hmm.
it's so clearly like a plot function, not really a
So
character.
her consciousness is like ping ponging through time. Is that the
I
idea? Sort
guess
of like
so.
Mikowski's sickness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something along those lines.
Sawyer jumping off a helicopter. I feel like Cassidy shows up. She's like, Sawyer, leave.
Classic Sawyer. Ooh.
Yeah, benefactor is British for father.
Mm-hmm. God bless him.
But the Widmore we know. Okay, so that's another thing he knew.
Yeah, extra data point. How do you know we're in the South Pacific?
The light doesn't scatter quite right. Say what? Oh, I said that?
Oh.
Hmm. When did he meet Charlotte? Like on the freighter?
On the freighter.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, with that time barrier, love blossoms faster on the island. So,
Yeah. Ooh. That seems to be implying Jacob ordered him to kill
yeah,
them?
yeah, maybe like implicitly.
Yeah.
I'll marry you later.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Sodding old man. Oops.
Yeah, you're kind of messing with the wrong guy. You see, he was born to lead the island
Yeah.
for 2 seconds before time travel started, and then he never led again.
Old.
Like Jesus Christ old? Not that old.
Almost. Not that old though.
He wouldn't know, John.
Yeah. He doesn't understand that that wasn't like Alpert magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he lives a long time, but doesn't mean he remembers into the past.
Mm-hmm. That's why nobody likes John Locke.
I look at you and I feel like I should clean my room.
I should practice that piano. So he knows that's his mom, right?
It seems like it.
Okay, he's not just like, oh, you look familiar, but he like, hey, we're a melting pot.
Uh oh.
Whatever happened, happened. You
Uh
can't kill
oh.
me.
So true.
You know, that makes me think. I mean, I know it's not really true, but it makes me wonder. You know, that idea of like she shouldn't be able to kill him right now because she didn't do it before. But it makes me think about other times when the
Oh no,
gun
I
doesn't
think she
go off.
can kill him because she does kill him eventually.
Oh, because this is his present.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is his
He
present.
can't kill
Oh,
her
he can't kill her because yeah, because she's
because
alive in
she's
the
his
future.
mommy.
Because she's his mom. That other thing too. Yeah,
But also because yeah, she doesn't die here. But yeah, I think he can die.
that's right. Because
It's
he
it
will.
starts to get weird, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the rules they want us to believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was just thinking that'd be an interesting explanation for other times when the gun doesn't go off.
Right,
It's because like that person's time traveling.
right.
There's your Jughead.
Yeah, it's in quotes for some reason. Uh
It's got oatmeal coming out of it.
oh. Get a spoon.
Yeah. God,
In
Mom,
case
you're
you didn't
always
know
stupid.
this, I'm being sarcastic.
So no one
Barriette.
finds it on the island until later.
Problems over. Barriette.
Treat it like feelings and bury it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
It's like, here's proof. Here's some slang you haven't heard of yet.
Yeah.
Cool it, Daddy-O. No, they might have that one.
Yeah. Cool video.
It's just twisting in the wind. What? So Woodmorson afraid of people to afraid of full of people to kill everyone on the island, and then he went back to business.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
I got a company to run. What do you want me to do?
Hey, not every venture is a success.
Exactly.
Let's write it off on our profit and loss sheet, and unless I have more questions for you. My ex-wife.
Ooh.
It's so weird that Desmond doesn't know like a huge point of this family connection.
It is, yeah.
One, two, three, Pendulum Street.
There's this guy who maybe wants to kill her.
Meeting adjourned.
You're fired.
Can't fire me, I quit.
Uh-oh. Here's the big moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is where he becomes the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where Richard's, like, thing with him starts. Oh, he's so flummoxed.
There it
Ooh, that's it. It's not true, but
is. Yeah.
it sounds like he knows something that he doesn't know. What?
Not Charles Widmore.
Charles Widmore.
Oh man, this is huge.
Yeah.
Do me a favor and never go into business. Wow. Although that was the end of the episode.
He does pretty well for someone who seemingly never like went to college or anything.
Hmm.
She
How did she now?
wait, is he lying?
Yeah, clearly.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Oh, Penny.
All right, she knows. He's actually trying to get out of it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to take Widmore's advice.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care.
Right.
He wants any excuse to not
Exactly.
deal with the past.
And now
And
Penny's
then
gonna
here's
convince him
here's
to
the
do
thing:
it.
the conflict still stays because he's gonna want to quit, and then she's gonna want to continue.
Yeah.
So they just kind of flip the goals here.
He really does mean it.
I don't think we need.
Yeah, I agree. We did not know that. That was a reveal. Not willingly.
Why are you lying?
I really think he will.
I think he will really forget it.
Give him a chance.
It's not like he's been obsessed about the island since he left, like Jack was.
So not. So not. Yeah, no, I feel like this, yeah, like she's convinced herself he's gonna obsess about it. But
This is just so that he can continue on it.
clearly.
Oh, so this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Compass
the scene I was thinking
time.
about.
Yeah.
Dying.
Yeah. You told me.
Yeah. Most subordinates tell their leaders when they're the leaders. Not really.
Yeah, did Widmore get the test?
Yeah, this is the scene I was thinking about.
Yep.
So this is where it all starts.
Yep.
Now, what I think we never get answered, and maybe they do mention it, is what happens from the perspective of the people who don't flash. Like he just sees Locke disappear,
I
basically.
think so, yeah.
Which lends credence to go visit me when I'm born.
Exactly. I think we end up hearing about it eventually.
Yeah, I
Like
think
someone says, like, you vanished before my eyes or something. Yeah, it's the opposite of what they see, basically, which is everyone else disappear.
Mm-hmm. And now it makes me think Richard was wrong to think Locke would have any connection to that compass.
Yep.
And he goes to visit him because Richard just read through that idea of like, I'm not going to remember something from the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he really got it as far as the compass.
Yeah, I mean it's a worthy test, but he shouldn't have been as disappointed.
Yeah, I think he expected Locke to be somehow magical,
Mm-hmm.
somehow able to transcend those things. He expected him to be more of a Desmond type.
Oh, Charlotte.
Yeah. What?
Wow, we're gonna go on that.
Yeah, that's so weird place to end. Just like a generic peril cliffhanger? Like, okay,
Mm-hmm. All
fine.
right.
That's where you
Well,
want to leave it.
Jughead.
Jughead. That was an
Uh,
episode.
that was well, it's got a couple of cool reveals.
Definitely.
Um, that's about it.
I mean, I generally enjoyed the 50s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Desmond stuff is like, I mean, we spent a lot of the intro talking about the problems with Desmond's character, and I don't think that part of the episode really did anything to change my mind about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It all seemed pretty much along the same lines, and there's clearly a foreshadowing bit of if you go, Penny might be in danger.
Yeah.
That ends up coming true, and really that's the only thing that happens. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe he says Faraday's on the island or something, but that's not really news to her or anyone else. So
Mm-hmm.
I like I don't think it's that helpful. It's like,
um,
yeah,
I
really?
just I
Okay.
just looking at Lostpedia and I realized and they specified here, Charlie is short for Charles, so in a way he's named after Widmore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this says the baby shares a name with the man who kept them apart and the man who helped reunite them. That's interesting.
In
So
a
yeah, now I'm
limited
wondering if
way,
it's
but
like
yeah.
Desmond calls him Charlie for Charlie, and does
Mm-hmm.
Penny call him Charlie for her dad, or
Mm.
is it like we'll never call him
Did
Charles?
anyone ever call him Charlie? Yeah. Like, if you call Widmore Charlie, like, you're fired.
Oh, for
Even if you
sure.
don't work for him.
Especially if you don't work for him.
I feel like I remember that from back in the day.
Hmm.
That weird coincidence. Um, because I can't imagine Charlie as a Charles, even though
Yeah.
he probably was, and I also can't imagine Charles Widmore as Charlie Widmore.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever a Charlie.
It just sounds really weird. Yeah, even when he was younger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I just saw in Lostpedia in Widmore's office, there's a painting with a polar bear and it says
Yep.
Namaste on it.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. There was a weird painting thing in Flash Before Your Eyes as well. Like they love doing that. I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, now it's not that crazy because
It
this is
doesn't
the
mean anything.
episode where we find out. Well, A, it doesn't mean anything. B, this is the episode where we find out he's another.
Yeah.
Which basically tells us everything we're ever gonna know, more or less, about his connection with the island.
Hmm.
That explains why he's so obsessed with the island.
Yeah.
Even though, like, yeah, the intermediate years were a mixed bag, I would say.
Yeah, it's a weird Widmore. All these characters on
The
this side of the
Winmore
story are
character
weird.
never really works the way they wanted to. I
Mm-mm.
think the actor is good and he has his
Yep.
moments,
Yep.
but
It's the Jacob effect. It's he doesn't care that much. He cares enough to be in that position, but like with Jacob, he didn't care enough to intervene when he needed
right.
to. So he's sort of ineffectual in a lot of plot points. And then Widmore, like he just has this whole period of after he leaves the island, he's so interested in business apparently
Yeah.
that he's sort of fine being this business guy. Um,
Your point was good that like it's post freighter disaster and he's just going on with business as
mm-hmm,
usual,
mm-hmm.
seemingly. You would think he would, appoint someone else to do that shit and
Well,
spend,
didn't he lose his son? I mean, he sent his son on this mission,
yeah, he
and
did.
and with no, I guess, real word about what happened.
Right.
And yet he's just like, yeah, and so I
And I
think in
guess
this,
Desmond didn't tell him because he doesn't even know.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, he's Whitmore's supposed to be surprised in this scene that Desmond's off the island, right?
Right.
But yeah, but there's no questions about, what happened to the freighter people, or, did anybody die from that team I tried to kill you? I sent to
Yeah.
try to kill you.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so yeah,
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that.
How much does he even know about what
Yeah.
happened?
And I guess he knows about the Oceanic Six at this point, so he
Right.
knows other people got
Clearly.
off the island.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's weird.
Like, Kimi, why did you do the put explosives on the boat and threaten to blow up your own boat plan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bad plan.
I
I can't
know.
imagine Whitmore was like, okay, and listen, if push comes to shove, just kill yourself,
Yeah.
or at the least strand yourself on the island, okay?
Exactly.
I won't send anyone after you, but just do that, all right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Like it ended up working because they were loading people on the freighter, but he started that plan. There were clearly all the preparations were made and he was putting the band on and he left like before there was really anyone on the freighter to threaten
Mm-hmm.
except for his own crew that took him
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So it's just it's just what the fuck.
That whole structure of the freighter people is really fragmented because you have like Naomi, who's ostensibly in charge, but then she gets
Mhm.
killed pretty early on. Then you have the
Yeah.
captain, who seems like he's in charge, but he knows nothing.
Right.
And then Kimi's like the real one in charge, but he doesn't really care about really anything.
No, he's
He's
pure
just getting a,
mercenary.
yeah, he's just a
Just doing the
mercenary.
job.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's a whole weird setup.
Yeah.
And
The science team that doesn't do a
Saeed
whole lot of
spent
science.
yeah, like didn't Saeed like now I'm getting confused on how the timeline works. But like Saeed was off the island. Wait, when did Saeed get off the island?
What do you mean? Like permanently or just on the freighter?
Oh, he was on the Wait,
Yeah.
yeah, he was on the helicopter, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, and he gets back to Oceanic
Yeah.
Six. But I was just thinking about all that time. That's after the freighter. Oh, okay, no,
Yeah.
they're just trying to line up the time when Saeed is going around the world killing Woodmore's men. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why didn't he kill Kimi if he is we? But that was before. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think basically everyone who got off was on the helicopter except Ben and eventually
Hmm.
Locke because they had the donkey wheel special access.
Yeah. But overall, not a bad episode. It had its moments.
Yeah.
Classic Lost stuff with just like all these revelations, and it's interesting. Like we talked about, Dan and in love with Charlotte, and now she's about to die, and them setting that against the backdrop of Teresa and his backstory.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah, I guess that's the parallel,
mhm.
and why they would, introduce that besides just kind of explaining that background. But yeah, Teresa, it's like I couldn't even I could have told you there was a character like that. I don't think I could have remembered the name of the character before we came back to this episode. I don't think I could have come up with Teresa.
Yeah, and
Um,
there's also Locke's Teresa falls up the stairs, right?
oh yeah,
Teresa falls
The
down the
Boone
stairs.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like Boone's babysitter. There's no
Oh,
way
it was
that's the
Boone's
same person.
babysitter. Why did
Yeah.
I think it was a Locke thing?
Yeah. Well, it's in Locke's dream.
Oh, that's right.
But he repeats it and Boone tells him cuz Boone says it in Locke's dream. And yeah, then he tells Boone about it and he tells him the story of the babysitter.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, presumably unrelated.
Maybe she was falling down the stairs because her mind was time traveling.
Could be.
All right, yeah, pretty interesting. It makes me want to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
I feel like the season's picking up a bit. It's
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah. I do think that overall, um, something I definitely remember from season 6, and um, based on this season so far, it's kind of holding up that they I think they did. Maybe they just decided not to focus on it so much, but the endings of the episodes have become a lot less interesting or punchy than they used to
Mm-hmm.
be. Like they used to introduce like crazy shit at the end. If you think
Yeah.
about famous things like the light at the in the hatch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those great endings that like open up this whole new world of possibility. Of where the story might go next. We got to train an army. Even if it goes nowhere. There was like a really strong emphasis on ending on an intriguing note to make you want to continue.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like
Hey, Charlotte had a nosebleed.
Charlotte has a nosebleed is like pretty weak on that front. We did get some interesting reveals in this episode, but yeah, it wasn't a punchy ending, and I think because you left, we talked about it. It ended with "We're going to Oxford," which is like,
Yeah.
so what? I think only episode 2, The Lie, actually had a more appropriate last ending with the Eloise Hawking and the lamppost reveal.
Yeah.
I think that was an example of like the more classic Lost style ending.
Yep.
But I think like going forward, they kind of don't do that as much as they used to, and it's more just kind of like it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of an implied like the story will go on from here. Tune in next week. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There's no like we got to put a game changer, at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I'm curious how that plays out through the rest of the season. I don't really remember.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's possible that season 5 was better about it, but I remember season 6 having a number of episodes that just have kind of, endings that just go like,
Mm-hmm.
it's over.
It's just over, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next one is The Little Prince.
Oh,
The Little
no.
Prince.
Not the
Prince
Little
is so
Prince.
little.
Oh, that prince. Who's the little prince? Aaron?
Of course, he's a little prince.
Why? He doesn't get to be a prince. Come on.
Because his mommy's a
He
queen.
ain't no. Really?
She's queen of the island. That's what I remember.
Okay.
Oh, that's what happens in the next one. All right.
Oh.
Some more time travel. A little time travel happens. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I do like I do like the time travel, like pre-Dharma time travel, where we just get these isolated moments. I think it was an interesting solution to the problem of how do we show some history of the island,
Mm-hmm.
where our characters are not involved.
Well, by making them involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Time travel provides a great way to do that because they can like actively participate in those famous events and yeah, obviously, um, there's some more of that coming with Rousseau and all that stuff. But I do think this glimpse of the others was interesting. I think
Mm-hmm.
I do think the others do seem a bit more committed in the 50s
Yeah.
than certainly than they were in season 6. Season 6 others were like the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like fucking do something. Like what's your problem? Why are
They
you
have
here?
no leaders. They don't know what to do. And and it's also weird though in this context where Richard is like, where Locke tells Richard, Jacob sent me, and it's like, if I was Richard, I'd be like, well, why wouldn't Jacob tell me a leader from the future is going to show up?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I should know that. Like, send me a note or something, Jacob. Like, where's the memo?
Yeah, and this is something that I always thought, I don't know. This is something that needs to be a part of that loophole episode, because I always felt like Richard didn't. Did he even discuss with Jacob that this happened? I
Like after
just
Locke flashes, he should go to talk to Jacob immediately and say,
absolutely.
"This guy just came from the future in Flash, and he gave me this compass, and he said
Yeah.
he was the leader." And maybe the idea with the writers is that he did, and Jacob was like, "Well, go see if he's special when he's bored,"
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that was his directive.
Right.
Because I don't really, I don't think there's any reason to necessarily think that Jacob would know what's going on with the time traveling.
Not in the
Like
moment, not in the moment,
yeah.
but in the future, once various
Hmm.
other events start happening, and obviously he intervenes, he's there to choose Locke as a candidate. Once he sees how the smoke monster is manipulating him, if he even sees that, I feel like this could have been a clue. It's a window into the plan, because he actually flashed to the future when Locke was already dead, and he's telling Richard to tell him stuff, and like it's a chance for Jacob to have some advanced information that it's
Hmm.
not clear if he capitalizes on that.
Yeah.
you know and the whole idea that Locke should be the leader, it's sort of like that didn't actually come from anywhere. It's like the compass in a way.
Well, what Locke said, didn't Locke say that Richard told him that?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's like the compass.
But then Richard,
And then he goes back in the past and tells Richard, which is the reason why Richard will eventually believe it. So
okay, so
it's
Man in Black doesn't tell Richard that. Like, when Man in Black as Locke in the future knows that Locke from the past is about to flash to his
right,
present,
right.
and he like sends Richard to go help him. He
No,
doesn't tell him in that moment. Okay, tell him he's got to die, and also tell him he's the leader of the others.
no, no. I guess not. But yeah, the fact that he says Jacob sent me, I think leads him on that path.
Hmm.
And I think also his manipulation of Ben to get Ben out. Maybe it's an improvisation. Like he realized what happened with Locke's time travel, and he realized that made Locke a good candidate to be the leader of the others. Obviously, he exploits that himself because he becomes leader of the others.
Hmm.
In Locke form. But also, maybe is the impetus for creating the conflict between Locke and Ben
Yeah, I could see that.
to get Ben out, get Locke in. The ground's been laid for that already. And then Ben can kill Locke, and then I can be the leader, and then Ben can kill Jacob. You know, Something like that.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, it doesn't seem like he orchestrated that part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
well, yeah, the only part of it I will give him credit for is the help me thing. And I guess the implication, sending the dream, the implication that Ben takes that means that quote unquote Jacob prefers Locke.
And his whole getting healed by the island,
Yeah,
like that factoring into his seeming preference,
yeah,
and it got yeah, but it does call that in question because if in the 54, when Locke shows up and says, "Hey, I'm from the future. I'm the leader of the others," and then if Richard goes to tell Jacob that, then when Locke comes to the island in the future and he's paralyzed, then Jacob could heal him because of this whole thing from the
right,
past. And he
right.
goes, "Oh, this guy's special. Let me heal him up real quick."
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe that explains that weird anomaly.
Hmm.
It was so quick too, um, like instantaneous.
Yeah, like just the same way when he touches Richard and Richard's
Mm-hmm.
lives forever now, whatever, and
Right.
doesn't age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just had a thought too. I mean, one of my many pet peeves about Lost, pet peeves about Lost is like a central theme here. Is that the help me thing? The fact that I feel that like it never really gets addressed.
Mm-hmm.
in any way after we hear that. You know, there's certainly some consequences to that event of going to the cabin, but specifically the help me thing.
Yeah.
Um, because like I guess I was always taking it as Jacob, quote unquote Jacob saying, "Help me," specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in trouble, help me. You
Yeah.
know, maybe Locke took that more as saying something like, "Follow me," you know, serve me, do what I say, help me in that sense.
Oh, give
Because
me help, like
yeah,
assist
exactly.
me.
Because that's like kind of what he does,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well, I was gonna say, to me, the problem with that help me is, I think is it might be because it's the problem is that it's sort of mired in the idea that who was ever in the cabin at that point, it was trapped.
Right,
We have the whole
right,
ash circle and this whole thing of someone being an
right,
imposter there and all that stuff. So that's why I always thought like help me is like I'm trapped. Either I'm trapped in this cabin or I'm trapped on the island. Help me do that. But that's
right.
an interesting thing of follow me. But that's yeah, that's a weird thing to say in that context. But
I agree. I agree.
at
It's
least
not the
but I mean
normal
it's
thing
a
you mean,
yeah.
but like technically, it could be interpreted that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is like I feel like that's effectively what he does. I don't know. It's I hadn't really thought about it that way, and it's the best I can do to kind of make it add up. But yeah, I mean, the commentary for that episode to me like clearly indicates they had something else in mind at the time. That
Mm-hmm.
stuff about like Ben having powers over Jacob or something, like they say some weird stuff in the commentary where
Yeah.
it's like, wow, there was a totally some weird idea of like Ben is like got Jacob trapped in the cabin, and Locke needs to help him, and yeah, I mean they clearly didn't stick with that plan. As soon as the cabin's moving, it's like, it doesn't really seem like anybody's trapped in there.
Mm-hmm. No one, yeah, anybody in there wants to be in there, right, Claire?
It's great in here.
There's like two chairs
Pull
and
up a
like a
chair.
floor. There's some jars,
Yeah, the liquid. You can look at the
dog
dog
poster.
painting. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What else do you want in a cabin?
But yeah, it can't be ignored. It's I think it's something I've been shying away from more lately, just because as we get closer to the end, like there is a little bit more coherence for what they're going for, and like I am interested in trying to figure out what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they had a different plan and switched it at a certain point, um, but yeah,
Are you saying it was a bad plan that couldn't be
I
changed?
think so. I think so.
Oh, that blast door map still
But they
still
tried
has
to
the
change it
goods.
anyway. Oh yeah, and I was looking at Lostpedia, and they had this article that I think it's been there for many many years, and I think we've even already talked about it on this podcast. But it's an article about the volcano,
Mm-hmm.
which if I remember right is from that same episode. And I think in the commentary they also insinuate that the volcano is going to be a big deal, along with shit. What's her name? Annie.
Annie, yeah.
Annie. The infamous Annie thing. It seems like there's a lot of plans from that episode that did not come to fruition for
Yeah, I
whatever
think that
reason.
Yeah, I think there was a recent or somewhat recent article about the volcano and what the original plans were for that on Lostpedia. Yeah, we definitely talked about it. Yeah, it seems like
Oh, it was from last year.
yeah, it seems like the volcano would have come into play with like either in this season or something with moving the island
Mm-hmm.
or next season like that whole idea of the island being underwater in season 6, like maybe the volcano goes off or something or like maybe they were thinking something like that. But some cataclysmic like thing that's going to destroy the island.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, there's plenty of examples like that, but And maybe the truth is not as interesting as I want to make it. Like, you know,
It's not.
like when I'm thinking about like Damon and Carlton sitting there doing their podcast or doing that commentary where they're saying these things that seem inconsistent with what they eventually do later, you know, part of me wants to think that they have a whole series mapped out based
Mm-hmm.
on whatever they're thinking, and that isn't necessarily true. It's possible that they have a general idea of what's going on there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but you know, mostly to be developed later. And once they got to the point of sitting down to do that, they realized they didn't like that plan
Yep.
and they wanted to do something else. And who knows, like maybe whatever they were going to do with Jacob trapped in the cabin, like would have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting, and uh, I I kept wanting them to come back to it because it seemed like a super interesting thread to follow up on.
Yeah, you know, the way I see it, it's like it's another example of the show is like life, you know, because like
Damn
you
it!
know,
Not
there's
again.
like a cabin and there's like a room you go into. Like you can never be sure who was in that room before. Like it could have been Jacob, it could have been Man in Black, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't really be sure who it was. You know, if you go to a
Right.
hotel, you don't know who stayed there before you. You
Right.
know, they could have been a smoke monster.
Hotels
Could have.
like the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
could have been a smoke monster, right? Did you check the ash circle?
Right? Is it a non-smoking room?
How do you know the ash circle even does anything?
Right? Just
Maybe
because
there's a
Dogen.
Japanese band that controls it all. Who knows?
Oh man, maybe he has a electrospectrometer or whatever it's called.
Who can measure your goodness?
Measure your goodness. Listen, it's much like the pH balance. You're either acidic or you're a base.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, basic. Nice, good place reference. Speaking of a show that has something similar to Lost, but yeah, wow, Dogen.
Definitely.
Oh, geez, we're gonna get to that. Oh man, Jacob saved my son, so I gotta work for him now
Yeah, forever.
forever. I'm really excited about it.
One DUI.
Mm. Yeah, it's like the T-shirt. Like I had one DUI, and all I got was this lousy job on the island forever.
Yeah, it's like, God.
Yeah, you know,
Why so
this
harsh? How about
is
5 years? How about 3 years?
right. What is this, Scientology? I have to
Yeah,
sign a
exactly.
million-year contract.
Wow. I
Oh,
think it's
geez.
worse. I think it's worse.
Yeah, is it
In certain
worse?
ways.
Yeah, in certain ways. At least with
Perhaps not in
Scientology,
other
you get to
ways.
meet Tom Cruise,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's worth something.
but you don't get to meet Lisa Remini. Not anymore. Oh man.
Wait, why not? What story?
Oh,
I didn't hear.
she's famously an ex
Oh,
Scientology
she
trying to bring
left.
them down.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
right,
she's trying to
got
bring
it.
them down. Yeah,
Got it, got it, got it.
it's a
Yeah.
great joke if you know the reference.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I heard about that. Maybe it rings a vague bell, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, she has a whole TV show about it.
I'm not up on my stuff. Oh, that's probably what I saw. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, Scientology show? Skip.
It's anti-Scientology, not
Yeah,
pro-Scientology.
clearly I didn't read it carefully.
No Dianetics for me, thanks.
But I do think there's something in common, like with the others and Jacob and the way he manages things. Like there is a bit of a yeah, well, more than a
well, that's
bit of
another
a
connection too, the volcano.
bizarre cultish atmosphere. Oh yeah, Xeno's got a
Xenu
volcano thing, right?
volcano. I think something
Yeah,
about
didn't all the Thetans come out of a volcano?
our spirits or something comes from volcanoes or something on
Oh, was
Mars.
it? Oh, okay. Not the Thetans. Are the Thetans aliens?
Ooh, the Thetans are different levels.
I thought everybody has Thetans, and you're just trying to like
Oh, that's right.
manage
You're trying
them
to
or get
increase your
rid of
Thetan
them.
level,
Oh, you
right?
increase.
Yeah.
You want them. They're good.
I think the Thetans are the aliens from the volcanoes.
Okay. Thetans are the aliens from the volcanoes. And do you want the Thetans or not? I thought you
Yeah,
wanted to
you
get rid of
do. It's
them,
an
but you
immortal
actually
spiritual being.
okay. Okay. Why wouldn't you want that? I don't
Oh, a
know.
thetan is not a thing. A thetan is the creator of things.
Oh.
So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
uh,
What's the thing they measure you for though? Don't they have like a something like Token's machine where they
they do. It's called I used to know what that was called.
I really thought it was Thetans.
No, there's a process that thing is called oh man, I used to know what that's called. Um when you get not analyzed, but let me see. Scientology machine. E-meter.
E-meter. Yes.
Let's see. Auditing. It's called auditing. Yeah.
Auditing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what are they looking for?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read that. Let's
Okay.
see. The e-meter was adopted for use in Dianetics and Scientology. Uh, let's see. Let me see what it's supposed to do, though. Did I miss what it's supposed to do? The e-meter by itself does nothing, and it is used specifically for spiritual purposes. Yeah, I can't quite get a sense exactly what it's used for from this Wikipedia page. I'm just like scanning it
Yeah, I
though.
mean, I'll buy that it does nothing, but what do they say it does? Surely they say it does something.
Uh,
Or measure
mm,
something.
Here we go. Three vital functions of the e-meter, according to Hubbard.
Okay.
To determine what process to run and what to run it on. Don't know what that
I
means.
don't either, but
To
okay.
observe how well the process is running. This is okay. And spoiler alert, there's another reference to process. To know when the process should be stopped.
Okay.
I think the process might be the auditing, but I'm not quite clear what the process is.
That's weird. So, okay.
Oh, here we go. The church claims that the e-meter can be used to assess the emotion charge of single words, whole sentence, and questions. This is totally what Dogen was doing.
Yeah.
As well as indicating. See, we're still on topic, listeners. Just say a lost thing every couple minutes. Let's see. As well as indicating the general state of the subject when the operator is not speaking. Few users of the e-meter claim that it does any. Oh, few users claim that it does anything to the subject. To most, it does no more than suggest to the operator a change of mental, emotional, or parasympathetic nervous state or activity. Did that answer your question?
No, but okay.
So, I mean, the answer is it does nothing.
Okay. I thought
Does
there was something a bit more straightforward than that, but okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, let me see. What is an e-meter for? Oh well, let's read it from the Scientology website. Let's get it from the horse's
All
mouth.
right. Surely they know.
E-meter is shortened for the term for electropsychometer, which
Okay.
makes it sound a lot more real.
Super cool, yeah.
It is a religious artifact used as a spiritual guide in auditing. It is for use only by a Scientology minister or a minister in training to help the pre-clear, which is someone who is new to
Right.
Scientology, locate and confront areas of spiritual upset.
Okay.
This is like a lie detector test for your soul.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's interesting
Oh,
to
I
use
see. So the
technology that
thetans are a
way.
part of us.
Okay.
So instead of saying mind, body, and soul, they say mind, body, and thetan.
Oh, okay.
So the thetan is an immortal spiritual being, the individual himself. It inhabits a body and has a mind, which is a collection of mental image pictures. All right. There's some more stuff
Okay.
I don't want to keep reading about,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a whole thing.
that's yeah.
Uh,
Trust me, Scientology is a whole thing.
I think I think that's clear enough.
Yeah.
What they're going for there. Yeah, I simplified it in my mind, or maybe simplified is the right word, but yeah, I just made it more direct what it was doing. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
basically,
weird that that's what Dogen was doing.
yeah, it's total.
He
I
was.
wonder if that's the inspiration.
It has to be.
Yeah,
It almost can't be anything else. It's too
yeah,
close.
yeah. And we talked about the idea like it was so like the most bizarre thing
Yeah,
that
this
could
is Dogen explained the
ever
nature
be
of the machine.
conceived.
He explained the nature of the machine as something gauge the morality of an individual, whether they were
Yeah,
good or evil. So I mean, yeah. Wow. So the others are Scientologists,
that's what it seems like.
and Jacob is L. Ron Hubbard,
It's
and
pretty apt.
and Man in Black is Cthulhu.
Is that part of Scientology?
That's part of L. Ron Hubbard.
Did he take
Oh, I'm
Lovecraft
sorry. I'm sorry. That's
monsters?
Lovecraft. Never
Okay,
mind. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Like if he took
I
Lovecraft
confused
monsters.
my early science fiction writers.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, L. Ron, not HP.
Right. Totally different.
Totally different. And now it's all real. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good discussion. I think we covered everything on this episode.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely entering more mid-season type territory. The plot progressed, but the pace is a bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Desmond goes to, Oxford and like, he doesn't really get much except like go somewhere else.
Yeah, he just gets a lead. It's like a detective story.
Yeah.
He gets a case of the week, and now he has the lead on the suspect, so he's going to go to the next place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's convenient she's in LA.
Very convenient. Yeah. That's where Ben is, so.
Now, Hawking was at a church, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the lamppost.
That's where the lamppost is, yeah.
But that's not the same church that they end up in the afterlife at, right?
I think not. I think the church they end up in the afterlife is the one where Jack has his father's funeral. That's what we decided.
But is that not the same church? Because this is in
I think
LA
it's a
too.
different church. Yeah, it's in LA too, but I think it's a different church. I don't think
Right.
that church had a Dharma station under it. I don't know for 100% sure, but
Well, that's the thing. It
I
was
think
like,
so.
was it supposed to be like, oh, it's a hidden station, and
Yeah.
I
I guess
she's
we'll have
like-
to see if we see it, if it really looks like it could be the same one. Because I think we do see some of the actual church part. It would be
let's
crazy
see.
if he had his father's funeral in a church where there's a Dharma station below.
Well, I'm reading this. Let's see. This looks like it is the same church.
Same church?
um,
What?
I'm reading through. Let's see.
You can't be serious.
Okay, so this is Eloise's office. This is when Ben goes. That's in 316. Yeah, and they're talking about the flash sideways. Jack had planned to hold funeral services for his father in this church in the flash sideways.
In Flash Sideways. Yeah, in the Flash Sideways, that's true. Because in the Flash Sideways, it's the same one. I guess that makes it seem like it should be that in the real world, too. But...
Okay, let me just see. There's Echoes Church. There's the Temple. There's a church in Nigeria. United States. Kate and Kevin were married in a church. So Eloise operated out of a church. Jack met Christian in the back of Eloise's church in Los Angeles. Together, the two joined the rest of their friends in journeying to the White Light. So they're saying that is Eloise's church.
In the Flash Sideways.
In the Flash Sideways.
That's definitely true. Oh, wait, they are?
Yeah.
They're saying it's Eloise's church in the Flash Sideways?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I guess it's the same one. That's crazy.
That is really crazy. So this church has the lamppost under it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's like weird as fuck. I am completely...
Now, this doesn't list Now, because there's a Lostpedia page about the churches on the island, churches on the show, and they have the United States off-island churches, but I don't see them listing where Jack had his father. Oh, there it is. 2 months after the crash, Jack delivered a eulogy at his father's funeral in a church. Now, that doesn't say it's the same church, but we sort of made it clear it was the same church when we saw that episode. It looked like the same
How
church.
can you be sure that? How did they indicate that?
Yeah, so to answer your question, I'm sort of taking their word for it here, but
Like the
I'm not
church
sure
that we
how they know.
saw Jack do the eulogy, like looked like the same one as the one from the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was the cue, I guess. But yeah, I think I need to pay more attention when they're in the church to see if it really uh, looks like it plausibly could be the same one. But how are they saying? How are they
So
saying that that's Eloise's church in the Flash Sideways? Like, did they indicate that?
I think it just looks like it because I
It
do
just looks
remember,
like
like,
it.
there's that scene. I think the next time we see Desmond when he goes to see Eloise, we get an exterior shot of her church, and I think later in the Flash Sideways, like that scene when like Ben and Locke are reconciling, and Ben's like, "I'm gonna stay behind."
Mm-hmm.
We see an exterior, and in my mind, there it looks the same. Um, on the page on Lostpedia for Eloise's church, there is a picture of Jack sitting in a pew from 316, and that looks like the same church from the episode The End. I mean, it very much looks like the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if that's
yeah,
the same
no, yeah,
one,
yeah, it's
then
exactly the same church.
okay.
They
Wow.
had one church location and they used it for
For
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
So Eloise's church. Now, the only thing to confirm is that this is where Jack had the eulogy. I mean, I think we confirmed it, but I'm curious, just picture wise.
Yeah, I was trying to find some images from The Lie because I know we see the church at the end of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Episode images. Okay. Oh, Lostpedia. What would I do without this? Okay, let's see. Oh, right. That's just the attack. Okay.
This says Jack's eulogy was No Place Like Home Part One.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
see the church in that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm convinced that's the same one as the Flash Sideways Church, and if the Flash Sideways Church is the same as, um,
Mm-hmm.
Eloise's church, then that's
Yeah.
good enough for me. Um,
Crazy.
Trying to get like, do they not have any good images of that? That's so annoying. Yeah.
Oh, Lostpedia, what am I gonna do with you?
All right, I'm gonna scroll down. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they just got like a picture of in a church. Okay, and you click on church and it says churches. Oh, you were already on this page.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Wow. All right. Well, I'm happy to believe it. It's there's a logic there.
it looks like if I'm reading this page isn't quite complete, but it looks like it's implying that the Australian Catholic Church where Echo worked, that location was also used as Oxford University.
What?
Yeah, and also used as the monastery where Desmond worked as a monk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Counterfeit Oxford.
Yeah, they're not gonna go to Oxford.
I guess this church is called St. Andrew's Priory. It's an Episcopal diocese in Honolulu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that makes. Oh, I see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did you say?
What?
I got some. I got some conflicting information.
What you got?
So according to Lostpedia, Eloise's church interiors were filmed at Sacred Hearts Academy.
Okay. So
And
what
I
does
got
that
an
mean?
address for it, and it is in Hawaii, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So what was the church you said? But
This is
maybe.
St. Andrew's Priory, but this that was not the church from the other
Oh, it's a
conversation we
separate
had.
church that they use multiple times.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's your point. Okay, so
yes.
yeah, the Sacred Hearts Academy is the interior location
Okay.
for Eloise's church. So if that's what I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised they use the same one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so I'm looking at 316, and then let's look at the end.
I mean, does that mean that like Jack came back after being Oceanic 6? He buried his dad at this church. There was a lamppost underneath it the whole time. Eloise actually has an office there.
Mm-hmm.
Did she not see on the like agenda for the day that like funeral for Dr. Christian Shepherd MD? Um that's so weird.
Yeah, you would think that would come up.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could get a good still from Jack's. No, but that was the one that really looked like it.
That was the one we're really convinced that, and it made sense that his dad's funeral will be the same church
Yeah, of
that they go
course.
to in the afterlife. So
Yeah. Yeah, like now I'm looking at like where Kate got married, and you can see some
mm-hmm.
differences in that church. Um, although it might just be the way they decorated the set. But yeah, yeah, I think it's pretty logical. But I feel like I never put those together in my mind.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
I
You
thought of
just
them
assumed
as
there'd be different churches or something.
yeah, yeah. Like obviously, it's sort of representing the same kind of place, but yeah, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
literally think like, no, it's actually the same place, like for real.
Yeah, yeah, Sacred Hearts Academy.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Let's see. It would be nice if they confirmed that. Do they? Uh... yeah, I wish Lostpedia would like just say the thing I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so much stuff on here, but a lot of it is not exactly relevant. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to go with it makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just hoping they would say what the location was, but there's very little about the original eulogy scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's a really short paragraph. The only picture they have is when Claire's mom shows up.
Oh yeah.
But then that was the one that we thought looked like it. So, yeah, I don't know. I keep like circling back to the same point. They're the
Mm-hmm.
same church. They're the same church. I'm convinced.
Yeah, I think it's all the same.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. The afterlife one really makes sense. The fact that Jack was there, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, there's this kind of strange woman underneath us right now,
Mm-hmm.
looking for the island.
She's trying to, yeah, figure out how to get you guys back to the island. You don't even know about it.
You don't
Wow.
even think you want to go back right now.
You don't even know what's gonna happen, Jack. Wow.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
surprised she didn't mention that. That would have been a cool thing to.
Mm-hmm. She should have been like lovely eulogy.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you say?
I heard it all, Jack.
Oh man.
I've been
All right.
watching
Well,
you.
want to wrap it up?
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, especially to the end where we tried to figure out what church was where. No, that was very riveting. It's very important to understanding the show to know whose church was at where church.
Hey, I think we uncovered something that perhaps you didn't notice before. Maybe it wasn't the smoothest road, but, you know, it's the knowledge that matters, not the long,
bumpy road,
arduous path that it takes to get there.
That's what Confucius says.
Confucius say that.
Oh, he's always saying things.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Until next time, we'll be back. Thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.